Good day to each and everyone. I am Siti Hejor Sofia M. Minidal, 3AB Psychology from the Group 6, and now I am here to give a discussion about the structured learning experiences. And for today's discussion, these are our topic outline. First, we have the group function and development. Second, we have the task and social dimensions of groups. And the last one is the group norms and group effectiveness. At this point of time, before we may proceed to our discussion, let us first know our intended learning outcomes. At the end of our discussion, we must be able to first understand the group's function and development. Second is to discuss what is task and social dimensions of group. And the last one is learn the different group norms and effectiveness. And let us proceed to discuss our first topic, which is the group function and development. So, as applied to group development, group dynamics is concerned with why and how groups develop. There are several theories as to why groups develop. A classic theory developed by George Humans suggests that groups develop based on activities, interactions, and sentiments. Basically, the theory means that when individuals share common activities, they will have more interaction and will develop attitudes, either positive or negative, toward each other. The major element in this theory is the interaction of the individuals involved. And let us proceed to the social exchange theory. Social exchange theory offers an alternative explanation for group development. According to this theory, individuals form relationships based on the implicit expectation of mutual beneficial exchanges based on trust and felt obligation. Thus, a perception that exchange relationships will be positive is essential if individuals are to be attracted to and affiliate with a group. And also, we have the social identity theory. Social identity theory offers another explanation for group formation. Individuals get a sense of identity and self esteem based upon their membership in salient group. The nature of the group may be demographically based, culturally based, or organizationally based. Individuals are motivated to belong to and contribute to identity groups because of the sense of belongingness and self worth membership in the group imparts. And let us proceed to discuss the Tuckman's theory. So, group dynamics as related to development concerns not only why groups form but also how. The most common framework for examining the how of group formation was developed by Bruce Tuckman in 1960s. In essence, the steps in group formation imply that groups do not usually perform at maximum effectiveness when they are first established. They encountered several stages of development as they strive to become productive and effective. Most groups experience the same development stages with similar conflicts and resolution. According to Tuckman's theory, there are five stages of group development, which are the following. First is the forming, second is the storming, the third one is the norming, the fourth one is performing, and the last one is adjourning. During these stages, group members must address several issues, and the way in which these issues are resolved it determines whether the group will succeed in accomplishing its task. At this point of time, let us proceed to discuss the five stages of group development. And now, let us first discuss the first stage in group development, which is the forming. So, in forming, in this stage, it is usually characterized by some confusion and uncertainty. The major goals of the group have not been established. According to Luthans 2005, the nature of the task or leadership of the group has not been determined. Thus, forming is an orientation period when members get to know one another and share expectations about the group. Members learn the purpose of the group as well as the rules to be followed. The forming stage should not be rushed because trust and openness must be developed. This feeling strengthens in later stages of development. Individuals are often confused during this stage because rules are not clear and there may not be a strong leader. And let us proceed to the second stages, which is the storming. In this stage, the group is likely to see the highest level of disagreement and conflict. Members often challenge group goals and struggle for power. Individuals often vie for the leadership position during this stage of development. This can be a positive experience for all groups if members can achieve cohesiveness through a resolution. Members often voice concern and criticism in this phase. If members are not able to resolve the conflict, then the group will often disband or continue in existence but will remain ineffective and never advance to the other stages. And the third stage is the norming. In this stage, it is characterized by the recognition of individual differences and shared expectations. Hopefully, at this stage, the group members will begin to develop a feeling of group cohesion and identity. Cooperative efforts should begin to yield results. Responsibilities are divided among members, and the group decides how it will evaluate progress. And the fourth one is performing. Performing occurs when the group has matured and attains a feeling of cohesiveness. During this stage of development, individuals accept one another and conflict is resolved through group discussion. Members of the group make decisions through a rational process that is focused on relevant goals rather than emotional issues. And the last stage is adjourning. In adjourning, not all groups experience this stage of development because it is characterized by the disbandment of the group. Some groups are relatively permanent according to Luthans 2005. Reasons that group disband vary, with common reasons being the accomplishment of the task or individuals deciding to go their own ways. Members of the group often experience feelings of closure and sadness as they prepare to leave. And now, let us proceed to the thoughts and social dimensions of groups. To understand group dynamics, we must first accept a fundamental premise. First, we are people, and second, we are workers. To manage how a group works, we must consider a group as an interpersonal relationship among several people. A common mistake in attempting to get a group to function better is to squash any sort of personal interaction, such as stories, jokes, and side comments, and enforce a rigid and stick to the agenda approach. This agenda whipping approach dehumanizes the group, making working on it as something to get finished versus something to excel at. While the other group may finish the work more quickly, the quality of the work will be minimal at best. They will engage and see the work, which is superficial, low quality work. They will be on task and will quickly reach agreement on decisions, but the decision will have little thought behind them. Minimal decision, virtually no disagreement, and very little consideration of options and other ideas will take place. While members may appear to be working well as a group, in reality, they are just going through the motions to get the job completed. The social dimensions, it is refers to the quality of relationships among group members, while the task dimensions, it is refers to the work done to achieve the goal of the group. The social dimension is the foundation of the group, forming a solid base for quality task work. If the social dimension is absent or weak, the task work is undermined, creating an environment ripe for seed work. The relationships and the social dimensions do not have to be close friends, intimates, or other such connections. Collegial relationships fostering respect, trust, comfortableness, and openness can serve as a solid foundation for quality group work. And at this point of time, let us proceed to our last topic, which is the group norms and group effectiveness. So, first is group norms. Group norms may be defined as a standard that is shared by group members and regulates member behavior within an organization. Hence, a norm is created that attempts to govern acceptable classroom behavior. We see similar examples in the workplace. There may be a norm against producing too much or too little, against getting too close to supervisor, against being late for work, and so forth. And now let us know what is norms and what are the functions of norms. So norms, it is summarized and simplified group influence processes, and it apply only to behavior, not to private thoughts and feelings. And norms are generally developed only for behaviors that are viewed as important by most group members, and it usually develop gradually. But the process can be quickened if members wish, and all norms do not apply to all members. Also, we have four functions of norms. First is norms facilitate group survival. Second is norms simplify expected behaviors. And the third one is norms help avoid embarrassing situations. And the fourth one is norms help identify the group and express its central values to others. At this point of time, let us proceed to the group effectiveness. According to Hackman's model, effectiveness is defined in terms of three criteria. First is the productive output. The productive output of the group must meet or exceed the quantitative and qualitative standards defined by the organization. And the second one is personal need satisfaction. Groups are effective if membership facilitates employee need satisfactions. And the last criteria is the capacity for future cooperation. Effective groups employ social processes that maintain or enhance the capacity of their members to work together on subsequent tasks. Destructive social processes are avoided so members can develop long-term cohesiveness and effectiveness. Moreover, group effectiveness is largely determined by three factors that have been called intermediate criteria. These factors are as follows. First is the group effort. Group effort, it is the amount of effort group members exert toward task accomplishment. And the second one is group knowledge and skill. It is the amount of knowledge and skills possessed by group members that are available for group effort and performance. And the last one is task performance strategies. It is the extent to which the group strategies for task performance, that is how it analyzes and attempts to solve a problems, are appropriate. And now we are in the end of our discussion, and we have our summary and highlights. So first, in group function and development, we have the social exchange theory, the social identity theory, and lastly, which is the Taxman's theory. And our second topic, which is the task and social dimensions of groups, we have the social dimension, and also we have the task dimension. And for our third topic, which is the group norms and group effectiveness, we have this following topics, which is the group norms, the qualities of what is norms and function of norms, the productive output, personal needs satisfaction, capacity for future cooperation, group effort, group knowledge and skill, and lastly, which is the task performance strategies. And this is our references for today's discussion. And that ends our discussion, and I hope you learned something.